Well, as Jody Cook just reported, that's still a major issue right across the continent, and seeing lots of photos on social media about the air quality and other major centers.
Yes, and I think Eddie may have some of that for us this evening. Hi, Eddie.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable start to the fire season so far this year in Canada, Tony and Mike. And we can already look at the hectares burned between so far this year and what the seasonal average is in the country, and we'll compare that to the United States as well. So far this year in Canada, we've seen 3,785,423 hectares burned. The 10-year average through an entire season, and mind you, we're not even into summer yet, through an entire season is just shy of 2.8 million hectares. And in the U.S., what typically burns in a given season is about 2.9 million hectares. So this wildfire season has been exceptional, and experts are saying this may be one of the worst ones ever with respect to wildfires in the country. And the record I was able to find is roughly 8 million hectares burned, and that was in 1989. And with respect to climate change, if we start to see more and more of these years where we have these abnormally high wildfire seasons, that's obviously a sign of a warming and drying climate, another sign of climate change. Satellite imagery today across the northeastern United States and eastern part of Canada, showing some cloud cover over parts of Quebec, northern New England, and getting into the maritime provinces and Newfoundland and Labrador. But this right here, that is not cloud cover. That is actually smoke from those fires burning in Quebec. And you can see that sinking southward toward Philadelphia and working its way into the New York City area. Another view of this is taken from NASA's Worldview satellite, and you can see the different coloring. Notice it's that brown, almost orangish color. This was taken earlier today. This is some very, very thick, dense smoke. In fact, the air quality under this in New York City is the worst New York City has ever experienced with respect to PM 2.5. And what does it look like in New York City right now? There's a live view of Midtown Manhattan from earthcam.com, and that's actually improved a bit from earlier. But notice how hazy it is, how orange the sky is. You can get a measure of how bad the air quality is by looking at something called PM 2.5. And I mentioned this yesterday. It's basically particulate matter that's under 2.5 microns, and that's stuff you can actually breathe in, so it can really affect your respiratory system. When it's over 300, it's bad for everybody. When it's under 300, it's sensitive groups. And look at all these numbers. In northeastern Pennsylvania, northern Jersey, portions of New York, well over 300. Some areas over 400, literally off the chart. So for everybody, it is not safe to be outside, and everybody will experience some issues from this air quality. Now you'll wonder how far away from this area does the poor air quality extend. And it goes down south toward Virginia, but as you get up into portions of northern New England, the maritime provinces and Newfoundland, the air quality is currently not a problem. Now we are going to see some of that smoke rotating around an area of low pressure over New Brunswick, and some of that will wind up over Newfoundland and Labrador over the next couple of days. But as it looked like yesterday, most of this will be aloft. So while we will see it, it shouldn't impact our air quality, and we shouldn't be able to smell it. Shouldn't isn't necessarily won't. So I'm not going to say that definitively, but that's how it looked when I was looking at some of the charts yesterday. So again, shouldn't impact air quality. The sun rises and sunsets, if we can see them, will be quite red. And when clear, skies are going to be hazy after